Hey beauties, it's Riri. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I am an over 40 lover of all things beauty. I love showcasing indie brands here on my channel, and then I like to sprinkle in some unboxings and some plus size content. If that sounds like your cup of tea, please consider subscribing and give the video a thumbs up. We are diving right in. I wanted to do a little farewell to summer look, if you will, doing a Neapolitan ice cream inspired look, and maybe that sounds a little bit crazy, but this is a look that I literally did most of my life. From the very first time that I got my cute little CoverGirl little trio from my mama that had a pink, a white, and a brown, I did my makeup like that from the age of 12 till I was probably 25 years old. So this is more of a classic look, but I keep seeing all these cute little trendy things going around, the viral things with the latte makeup, the strawberry makeup. There's nothing new. Everything is just redone over and over and over again. So this is definitely not a new concept, but I want to kind of make it my own. I also want to note too, you can use your fingers with this if you're doing an all shimmer look. You can also go all matte. You can choose to do mattes and shimmers. I try to make sure that everything is very beginner friendly around here and that everybody can do it. Of course, if you have fairer skin, you will go in with lighter colors. If you have deeper skin, you can choose your own tones for that as well. I am going to go ahead and do my eyes first. I'm going to prep first with the Glam Light Icing Eye Base. This is the shade Buttercream. You do not necessarily have to do this. I do have a little bit of veining and a little bit of darkness on my lids. That is the reason that I choose to use primers, and I do feel like they do make the shades pop a little bit more and last a little bit longer. If you do have oily skin, it's a really good way to kind of mattify the lid and also lock in your eyeshadow. So again, this is going to be incredibly easy. I am going to do my eyes first solely because I'm going the all shimmer route. Again, do what you want to do what makes you feel like the best version of yourself. But just in case I get any kind of fallout or anything like that, I'm trying to avoid that at all cost. And typically speaking, we would go in with our outer corner shade first and then kind of build our way in. For this, because I want just help and ease of use of blending, I'm going to go in with the Bold and Brilliant highlight palette from Gourmande Girls. There's a white, a pink, and a brown in here. I'm literally going to take my pinky, I'm going to go into the white shade, and to just help everything blend a little bit easier, I feel like personally, especially if you're having trouble blending mattes out, if you lay the couple of shimmers first and then put the matte on the outer corner or the outer part of the lid, those shimmers being down are going to help that matte spread out just a little bit easier, and that is what I have found that works for me. I am going to use multiple palettes. I could literally go in and use just this palette right here, but I do want to give some variation, and I do have a code with Gourmande Girls. It is RIRI10 for 10% off. That code is an affiliated code, so if you use it, thank you so much. Next up, I want to get some more use out of my Dragon Fruit palette from Clionadh Cosmetics and Emily Violet Marie. And as you can see, this is all more of a shimmery, sparkly, glimmery palette. I was going to use Bubbles. It's my favorite shade in this palette, but it has a lot of green to it, so it's definitely not going to go. However, the pinks in here, the Refresh, the Hyloceris, and Sweetened, these shades right in here, I want to just kind of dip my finger into just all three of them a little tiny bit. I want it to be kind of more of a mid-tone pink. I'm going to take this, again, just with my finger and place that beside the white. And then where they meet, we don't want a harsh line of demarcation, so I'm going to go into the lightest pink. I'm not trying to flick you off, sorry about that. I'm going to go into the lightest pink and go in between these two shades, just so there's a little bit more of a subtle blend and nothing that's too harsh. Then I'm going to go into my Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. You can use any shades from any palette that you have. Again, I could have just used every shade from this palette right here, but I do like the cream formula over here, so I am actually going to go into this cream shadow right here, again, just with my finger, and I'm going to place this on the outer corner. I was actually looking for something that was slightly more neutral. I feel like this is a little bit more warm than maybe I was trying to go for this particular look, so I may put that Gourmande Girls shade on top of it, but whatever closest chocolate ice cream color you can come up with is gonna work just fine. And then lightly blend them in together, and then I'm gonna go back in with the pink one more time just to make sure that I have a nice natural soft gradient here. And that is the look. Literally, that's the look for the eyes. And you could go all matte, you can go all shimmer, whatever floats your boat. Okay, I'm gonna do the other eye off of camera, and I will be right back. Alright, foundation is on. We're going to move on to the next step. This is the Fenty Beauty new Eaze Drop or Easy Drop Skin Tint in shade 7. I've really been loving this. If you do have oily skin, I do not think this is the product for you. But as you can see, it's very natural, very skin-like. You can still see some spots peeking through. But for me, it's enough coverage and it creates a beautiful, it creates a beautiful seamless canvas for me. Next up, we're going to go in with our chocolate part of our face. This is the Westman Atelier Biscuit Contour Stick. It is a teeny tiny little size for $25, but I can tell you that a little goes a long way. I use this consistently and I've used next to none. I'm going to go in with a firm brush. I like to pick up some on the brush, tap it out if I feel like I need to on the back of my hand. And I like to stay pretty far up and very close to my hairline because as we start to blend, obviously it gets a little bit more dispersed. And with this, I'm not aiming for a lot of warmth on the complexion, so I opted to go in with a contour shade, and I will not be adding any bronzer to this. I'm going to run a tiny bit down my nose, and then I can blend that out with my fingers. I always say follow the hollow. You're going to follow the hollow through and then come down. Obviously, this is not something you absolutely have to do. And normally I go in with a teeny tiny brush when I do this, and then I just kind of tap it out with my fingers like so. I'm going to contour out my jawline ever so softly. You do not have to do this part. Basically, I'm going in with my brown, my chocolate, and then I'm going to layer blush and then a more white or icy type of highlight. Also optional, I'm going to go in and set. I'm trying to use up the last little bit of my Charlotte Tilbury palette, of my Charlotte Tilbury powder. This is the shade 2, and I'm using a Trigwell sponge. I'm going to lightly set, and then I'm going to spray my complexion and kind of make sure that everything is pressed into the skin, everything is blending into the skin and kind of becomes one with the skin, as opposed to sitting on top of the skin, especially for myself because I do have dry skin. So I'm going to go in. I'm also finishing this up. This is the Illamasqua Hydra Setting Spray. And then I'm going to go in. I use literally a dry blender. I've done this for probably 10 plus years. And people used to think that I was crazy when I used to do this. And I lightly tap. I'm barely putting any pressure at all. And again, this is just going to kind of take down any powderiness, any dryness or anything like that. And it's really just going to make sure that everything again blends into the skin instead of sitting on top of the skin and looking kind of more thick, more powdery, etc. From here, I'm actually going to go ahead and finish up the lower lash line. I'm going to go in with this little tiny Wayne Goss brush, and I'm just going to mimic on the bottom what I did on the top. You could smoke this out, you could wing it out, you could do some rhinestones. Then for blush, you're just going to go in with whatever pinky toned blush works best for your skin tone. I'm going to go in with the Rebel Rouge Labs Bubble Gum palette. And I'm going to mix this shade here with this softer pink here. This one's a little bit too much, a little bit too bright, and this one's a little bit too light. I'm going to go in with my Crayon Case Judy brush. And then this is going to be our strawberry part of our Neapolitan look. And this packs a punch, so you can see I'm like very lightly going in. I do also have a discount code with Rebel Rouge Labs. It is RIRI10. That one is not affiliated. That is just for you guys. Oh, it's so pretty, you guys. I'm glad this is turning out how I had anticipated. Thank goodness. Now, if the lips turn out the way I want, then I'm really going to be happy. Also, while we're putting on our blush, I want to know what is the best part about your summer. What did you do this summer? Did you literally do nothing and it was still effing fantastic to just sit and do nothing? I'm curious about that. Also, do you have any fall plans, fall birthdays? I would like to know. Do you have a fall vacation planned? So I'm going obviously very blushy. Then for my vanilla, my highlighter, I'm going to go in with a brush and go in between. This might be a little stark, but I still feel like it's going to look white or like vanilla. I'm going to mix it in with a little bit of sunstone just to be safe. And I'm going to put just a little tiny bit. And the point here, the purpose obviously is to have a beautiful ombre effect. I'm going to do the ombre effect obviously on the eyes, the face, and the lips. And then I like to connect it just a little bit here. I feel like it just gives a beautiful blend and a soft gradient there. That looks exactly how I'd anticipated. And this is a Sonia G. It just says Designer Pro, so I have no idea. I got it in my Beautylish bag. It is a lovely brush. If I could afford to buy these, I definitely would. Oh yeah, that is doing exactly what I wanted it to do. I'm going to do a tiny bit on my nose. And then I'm going to stay in the same exact brush. I'm going to pick up the tiniest little bit, like I'm barely tapping. I do want to use this as like a little pinky highlight slash blush topper. Now here's where I'm a little nervous. And here's where you can also obviously put this to your own skin tone and your own preferences. We're going to go in with a chocolate brown lip liner, a pinky type lipstick, and then I'm going to take probably the white highlighter, or I also have a white liner that I could try to use to do the ombre effect. So yeah, we're going to see how it looks, y'all. This is the Gerard Cosmetics Mudslide Lip Liner. And I am going to put this on, but then also kind of tap it out and blur it out just a little bit. Again, I'm aiming for a soft gradient on the eyes, the face, and the lips. Next, I'm going to go in with this Sigma lipstick. I don't have anything that's like super pinky of a lipstick, unfortunately, but I wish this was more pink. So obviously just use whatever you have, but I wish it was more pink than this. And then I actually think I'm going to go with my Ploise Base. This is the Ploise Base in 0, just the white. I'm literally just going to put some on my finger, like the tiniest little bit. A little of this goes a very, very long way. Matter of fact, I'm going to even spread it out a little bit more. And then of course I'm going to feather it out again. Next, I'm going to go in with the BFC Mascara. I'm also finishing this up, and I will be right back. Alright beauties, here is our finished look. I did also line with the NYX Retractable Liner in white. I did not put mascara on the lower lash line. I just feel like aesthetically it looks a little bit prettier. I love this look. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you recreate this, please, please, please tag me. I am on Instagram, Facebook, and of course right here on YouTube. I do not have a TikTok or a Twitter, so if you see this beautiful face on TikTok or Twitter, it is not me. Hopefully you guys like this. This is our goodbye to summer. I'm so excited, even though I love this look so, so much, and I actually like ice cream a lot too. I don't like summer that much. I'm ready for fall season. Anybody else? I'm ready for Halloween. I'm ready for bonfires and everything pumpkin spice. Yes, I'm that girl. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think. I love you beauties. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. And of course, be your own best beautiful. Bye beauties.